maternal grandmother, so my bangwai, she taught me, I think I was either in high school or college, and I was having a fight with my boyfriend at the time. And she told me in Vietnamese, you shouldn't yell at the people that you love. That stuck with me because it kind of put things into perspective of like, I really care about this person. Do I need to come out super aggressive in some kind of disagreement, or can I try to meet them in a more calm, in a more respectful way? My grandma she was such a loving and caring person. She came into my life a bit later. She didn't come to America until I was about 10. She was a kindergarten teacher in Asia, and so just by saying that alone, preschool, kindergarten teacher, and then that's just how she is. Like she was always so nurturing, considerate. She always wanted to learn, and she always wanted to see us learn. So that, having a teacher background and having her being such a, fostering and taking care of such young children,
right.
Really channeled into her personality. My family means the people that I'm connected to. It means the people who have helped me. I have a strong connection to people who are blood relatives to me, of course. And then I also have chosen family. I really appreciate both aspects of family. Family that you're descended from, because ancestors are really important in my family's culture, as well as chosen family. So my dad's family, they all left Vietnam during the boat people era, so that was the late 1970s. So the people who left were my grandparents, all my aunts and uncles except for 2 or 3, and then some of the aunts and uncles had spouses, so that included my mom and my sister. So my sister was a baby when they were on the boat, and that whole group, I think it was 15 people, so my grandparents and as many of their kids as they possibly could. They escaped, went into a refugee camp, and eventually made it to America in 1979. The day that they landed is Thanksgiving Day 1979. So Thanksgiving 2004, 25th anniversary, it was essentially a family reunion. All those people who left on the boat finally all got together and brought all their kids down.
Wow.
And so there's this big family reunion photo from that time. So it's all the people who had left, and then it's all the spouses, all the kids, all the American kids who have grown up there, and that story was retold of your parents and grandparents escaped 25 years ago and made it to America. And this is the photo that shows for it, because it was a pretty big anniversary. It's a mixed culture technically, because my parents and my aunts and uncles were born and raised in Vietnam, so they consider themselves Vietnamese. But my grandparents and great-grandparents are actually ethnically Chinese, so they immigrated from China to Vietnam sometime in the 1800s. So we do carry our Chinese background, so there's still a Chinese family dialect that we speak, or is part of our lives, and it's kind of blended in with the Vietnamese that we've learned from our parents as well. So that's my culture, is a blending of Chinese and Vietnamese ancestry. By now, both cultures are really strong. I feel growing up, being born and raised in San Diego, there was a lot of identity crisis, because it's because I feel education, and also growing up in a not diverse neighborhood too, where it's oh, you're just Chinese, and then I think about that, and I believe it, but then it's not until I'm an adult I learn, oh wait, I can't just say that. I have to claim all of this. I have to claim all of this background.
Right.
It's all a part of it. I can't ignore that my grandfather was born in China, and I can't ignore that my parents were born in Vietnam. So that mixing of the cultures is something that I feel today I finally have a grasp on what it is and what it means to me. It's who I am, because the different phases of growing up, there have been times where I've either denied one part or only focused on another part. Yeah, it's really interesting in that like my career path has taken me to where it is today, where I'm solely focused on promoting Asian Pacific Islander representation, not just for myself, but for everybody. I feel like those feelings of identity crisis growing up are so like insidious, right? And so I want to foster positive feelings about our culture, about our background and our identity with the youth today, and what we see on TV and what we see on screen and films today, because we shouldn't be denying these parts of ourselves. Asian joy, it reminds me of laughter. Like that is the key word that comes out, like something that makes you laugh, something that is either hilarious or crazy or silly. That's what I think of when I hear that phrase. And when I contemplated on Asian joy a little bit more, I actually think of Asian peace, and because I feel like there are emotional barriers sometimes with our culture and how we're raised and how our parents and grandparents have been raised, that sometimes these strong emotions, like I had mentioned a lot earlier, these strong emotions are encouraged to be suppressed. You know, you shouldn't be too excited, or you shouldn't be too loud, or you need to be, quiet and calm and content. And I feel like maybe Asian peace being, let's be content with ourselves, let's embrace all spectrums of emotion, because I know that can be hard for some people. Some people can be like, oh, we shouldn't be too happy, or we shouldn't show too much excitement, because it's risky. I feel like it's a defense mechanism sometimes, because me growing up, I'm an emotional person, so it's hard for me to simmer down or anything like that. And so I hope that me sharing my thoughts and everyone else being able to share their thoughts will help bring a cultural shift to showcase that we should express all kinds of emotions. Like, we are multifaceted people. It was a big realization for me, like post the Atlanta tragedy, that I saw so many young people stand up and speak out, so many people of high school age standing up and speaking out against the racism and the microaggressions that they face in school. And I reflected a lot on that, because my high school self would not have done that. And so I'm relieved, and I'm so proud that the next generation is like taking it further. They're doing things that my generation was too scared to do. I'm really optimistic about the future because of the youth that I see today.